Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all healing? I am here, y'all. We starting with the 21 days for 21 minutes. Let me set the timer. So I have actually a couple different topics that I'm going to go over today. And just wanted to kind of give you guys a, overview of what's going to be happening. So really, this is for all of us. It's for me and it's for you. So it's for me because I have been doing media for the last couple of years, author of a book, podcast host. This is going to be raw and uncut. So, yes. And one of my struggles has been going live. And my camera is kind of flipped, so forgive me, y'all. But one of the things that I've been doing is, I guess I could say, like, holding myself back from going live. And I don't know what it is. So for the next 21 days, I have committed to 21 minutes. And if you know me, you know I'm a person of my word, that I stick to what I say I'm going to do. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 21 days. I did say that I'm not going to have like a specific time frame and all of that. But I want to get into, and bear with me, guys, because a lot of this I am, doing on my own. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure it all out. So I'm streaming on StreamYard to my YouTube, and then I'll be able to share it on some other platforms. Depending on the time of day that I do it, I will also stream on Instagram live as well. So right now, the question at hand is, what's one small shift you can make today? So my topic today, I actually have two, and I'm hoping this works out. So you will see me kind of looking off to the side because I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure that I touch on all the things and that you guys can walk away with something. So these topics will be along the lines of the overlooked mental health struggles of entrepreneurs. And the first one is anxiety. And I've had a lot of anxiety around being live and going live as an entrepreneur. Some of our businesses don't require that we need to be on social media and do those things. But for me, I always want to make 2 points. One, that I have two businesses. One kind of is self-sufficient. I have staff, they take care of clients and things of that nature. And I kind of oversee, or I shouldn't say kind of, I oversee the day-to-day operations of that business. So anything from hiring, payroll, trainings, things of that nature, that is what I do for that business. And then my consulting business is where I am either doing therapy, coaching, consulting, mindfulness, all the things with those clients that I work with on that, sometimes workshops, sometimes speaking engagements and things of that nature. So I have anxiety around doing those things. And for me, going live, I've had a lot of anxiety around that. I don't really know why, because I feel like I'm pretty confident. I feel like I don't mind sharing information. And if you look at my pages, you'll see like, I'll do things and, do little modeling for clothes and all that different stuff. But I think the idea around going live, for whatever reason, I have anxiety about that. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So maybe we'll figure that out in these 21 days. But the point for today is anxiety when success feels like pressure. So the uncertainty, I think, is one of the things that causes anxiety. And then stress, whether it be, from finances, your expectations of how things need to be done or what you need to do, all can attribute to having anxiety. So I want to give you 3 ways to manage anxiety. And then I'm also going to share with you another idea around why we struggle to change and how to shift that. So let me see if I can put that on here. No, we don't want to do that. Let me see. Listen, we trying to work it out. If I can add that on here, why we struggle to change. It's actually coming up in all caps, y'all, but we gonna go with it. How to shift that. So if you know about me, you know that most everything I talk about has to do with shift. My book, Shift, State the Problem, Heal and Help Yourself, Identify the Purpose, Focus, and Trust the Process. So most things that I share with you guys, let's see, why we struggle to change, how to shift that. Oh, I love this. I love this StreamYard and this information. So hopefully that's going to show up on the thing that we're doing. So let me go back to anxiety when success feels like pressure. We talked about some causes: uncertainty, stress of finances, having high expectations for yourself. In ways that you can manage that, get your pen and paper, because I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can manage that. Y'all ready? So the first one is set structured routines to minimize decision fatigue. So what does that look like? For me, having a routine is critical in my day-to-day. And as an entrepreneur, I'm always stressing to entrepreneurs, you have to have a routine because nobody's telling you what to do, right? So for your days, right, you have a calendar or an agenda that you're using, and you're making sure that you're writing out, hey, in the morning when I get up, I need to journal, I got to meditate, I'm going to work out, make your bed. That's one of the very first things that I do because it makes me feel accomplished. And if you follow me, I've said that tons of times before. Having an idea of what you're going to eat for the day. A lot of people do meal prepping. That's another thing that you can do that can help reduce the anxiety of some of the kind of day-to-day things that we have to do, so that you have that structure for yourself. So set a structured routine to minimize decision fatigue. That's number 1. Number 2, let me see if I can add that. Hold on, guys. Number 1, set a structured. And, I need y'all to bear with me because this is my first time and I want to make sure that I give you guys this information in a practical way, and where you can retain the information and maybe even screenshot some of this stuff. So let's see how this works out. I'm just writing out the 3 tips, and for future reference, I think I will know that I could do this ahead of time. So we're just going along with it. Delegate. Okay, hold on 1 second. We want to make sure we don't have any typos in here. Okay, so the first thing we had was to set a structured routine. So as I was describing, my hair's all over the place. As I was describing, getting up, making up your bed, having a routine for your journal, meditating, whatever your mindfulness practices that you're going to do. Remember, we have to do these things before we start the day, because if we try to then, incorporate it some other time, the day is going to get ahead of us and then we will not be able to do those things. So especially when you're learning to get into the practice of these things, you want to make sure that you're doing them and having yourself a set schedule. Because again, as entrepreneurs, we're not punching a clock. Nobody's telling us we have to do something at a certain time. These are all things that we're doing for ourselves, right? The second thing is to practice mindfulness and grounding exercises. So again, going back to what centers you and keeps you together when things get a little chaotic, or when you have that anxiety, like I'm describing I have about going live, which we're going to figure out before it's all said and done. So practicing some mindfulness, again, that's meditation. Grounding exercise could be something as simple as like stepping outside and putting your feet in the ground. Just being still is grounding, right? Being still, turning your phone off for a few minutes, not taking any calls, not responding to emails, and allowing yourself that space to be able to do the things that you need to do. The third thing is to shift from control to trust and delegate where possible. Let me see if I can show this on the screen. Okay, so we got our 3: set a structured routine, practice mindfulness and grounding exercises, and shift from control to trust, delegate where possible. So one of the things that I've been in the practice of in my business recently is making sure that when I do delegate, that I'm allowing space for the things that I'm delegating, the people to do those things, right? And then I'm just following up. So if I give someone a task, for example, I've assigned everybody to a client, right? So each staff member is responsible for the client, making sure they have the supplies they need, making sure they have, the clothes they need, making sure that all of their kind of day-to-day things are taken care of. And that allows them, right, some independence and some opportunity to show that they're able to, do an additional task. But it also keeps me from having to try to keep track of all these things for each of these individual people. So that's a way of delegating, and then trusting that now I gave them this. Now I just need to follow up to make sure that they're doing it. And then if they're not, then, there's another step behind that. But learning that we can't control everything, right? And I say that in my book about focusing on what you can control, and what we cannot control are the environment, our things, our people, right? So what we have to be in practice of is controlling what we are able to manage and do for ourselves within those situations that may occur. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now I want to see if I can add my next thing. And that is this idea of, in this 21 days, it is a foundation for transformation. I want you guys to remember that, and why we struggle to change, and how to shift that. So I have that. I think that's going across the screen. I do want you guys to like and comment if you're going to be prioritizing your mental health during this 21 thing, because not only am I talking about things that will help with mental health, I'm connecting it to entrepreneurship and mental health as it relates to entrepreneurs. So the next thing, why we struggle to change and how to shift that, I want to give you some other things to take away from why we struggle to change. So understanding that your comfort zone is not your safe zone. it's your stuck zone. I'm going to say that again. Your comfort zone is not your safe zone, it's your stuck zone. One more time. Your comfort zone is not your safe zone, it's your stuck zone. So, are you hearing that? So, where you're finding comfort, like for me, not going live, and encouraging and pushing myself to do that, I'm getting out of my comfort zone, my safe zone, and getting into an area where I'm not going to feel stuck anymore, because this is something that I know I need to do to continue to progress and grow my media and everything else that I have going on. Understanding that change requires discomfort, but so does staying the same. So I always say this, like, change means doing something different. I think I talk about that in the book as well. I shouldn't say I think I know. I talk about that in the book as well. So change requires discomfort. And for me, this is somewhat uncomfortable. It is a um, thing that I'm doing and I'm pushing myself to do, because I know, one, that I have great information to share, and wanting to make sure that I'm getting this information out to you guys. So these are reasons that we can struggle with change. Um, and then starting with small shifts. Transformation is not instant, it's intentional and has to be intentional. So for me, saying, hey guys, I'm going live for 21 days, for 21 minutes, is a real commitment. It's a real commitment to say, I'm going to show up for myself. And whether or not people hop on the live or whatever, I'm going to be doing this for me, for you. Because by me doing it consistently for 21 days, it shows, one, that I'm making the effort, that I'm committed to myself, and it also is providing some valuable information. So I felt like I was going to be, what they say, killing two birds with one stone. So let me put, I don't know, let me see if I can add it here, about your comfort zone is not your safe zone. Number 2, change requires discomfort. We got to make sure we spell this stuff right. And start with small shifts. Okay. Let's see. I think it showed up, right? So your comfort zone is not your safe zone. Change requires discomfort, and you got to start with small shifts. So in summary, I'm really giving you guys 2 different things to kind of focus on. So today we talked about anxiety when success feels like pressure, and the foundation of transformation, why we struggle to change and how to shift that. So there really are a bunch of takeaways within this live that I have provided to you. And I'm hoping that you guys are walking away with a reason to want to come back. I need you to put in the comment. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, the ticker is still going. What's one small shift that you can make today? Whether that be related to anxiety, whether that be related to some grounding practices that you can do, what you can do to, let me see. Okay, I put the other 3 for anxiety back up: to set a structured routine, to practice mindfulness and grounding, and to shift from control to trust. Please put in the comment one small shift you can make today, and put a check in the comments if prioritizing your mental health is the season for you. Is this your season to prioritize your mental health? I want to hear from you guys. Hopefully this was good information. I didn't want to go too long and like drag things out, because I feel like it's important to kind of get the information and be ready to then go from there. Um, so I appreciate you guys. I am super excited about doing these 21 days. Again, I don't have a set time. What I am going to do is share in my stories when the live has posted, so you guys, if you missed the live, that you can see it. And remember, the shift is happening now.